You just saw these folks out here. Look at their Yooperlites. Good job. Hey treasure finders, welcome to the channel today. I decided to do a longer form video today. I used to do only long form videos. For those of you that have followed me for a while, most of my videos were longer form. And lately, since I'm not traveling as much and since people's attention is just too divided between all of the things they need to do and places they need to go and people they need to take care of, nobody has time to watch long form videos anymore. But this particular trip was to the Upper Peninsula of Michigan, all the way up in the Keewanau Peninsula, and there's so much beauty up there that I just had to take the time to make a longer video on this. I just couldn't cover it in short form videos. And those of you that watch my channel and are really supportive of my channel will probably stick through to the end. It's really exciting also because this is the first time that I ever found a Yooperlite, and if you don't know what a Yooperlite is, I'll talk about it later. But it was just a really beautiful trip, and I wanted to share as much of it as I could without putting anyone to sleep. So stay tuned for our trip to Copper Harbor, Michigan. If you've never been to the Upper Peninsula of Michigan, a great time to go is in the fall because the colors are amazing. So we chose to do this in mid to late September, and the colors were just about perfect. They weren't past peak, they were just coming upon peak. And on the way up, it's about a 10.5-hour drive for us to get to Copper Harbor. So we made a one-night stop in Marquette. We absolutely love Marquette. It's one of our favorite places to go, and I would highly recommend going to Marquette. So I'm going to show you a few things from there, and on our way up we also stopped at a place called Canyon Falls, so I'll show some clips of that, and then we'll move on to Copper Harbor, which was our ultimate destination. This path is the path to the Canyon River Falls. We got this hot tip from the visitor center. This is not the Canyon River Falls right here. They say it's the Grand Canyon of Michigan. We're almost at peak color here in the UP, at least in the area that we're going up to Copper Harbor. Ryan and I have never been here before, and we were just saying that it just does not feel like Michigan here. Too high for you?
Yeah, it goes down a little bit.
A bit of a drop off.
Feedback.
Oh, okay. This is kind of the end of the trail. The trail continues on down the river, but this is just kind of a little stop that we made along the way, so we're not going to continue on, but I think we saw the biggest part of the falls already. What a great little hike. This was only, what do you think, about a half mile in?
Yeah.
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 If that. They said it takes 10 minutes to get here, so this must be the end of the line as far as the rapids go. Since Ryan and I didn't have a lot of time, we just had an overnight stay in Marquette. We had to be a little bit picky about what we decided to do this time. We have been to Marquette numerous times before, so this time we did take a bike ride out to Presqu'île Park, which is just a nice little stopping place at sort of north of the town, and it does have some nice rocks and water and a little pier you can walk out onto. So I really enjoyed doing that. And then we decided to hike Sugarloaf Mountain. Sugarloaf Mountain has an elevation of about 470 feet. It's a short hike in. It only takes 15 to maybe 30 minutes to hike in, but it does have that elevation. So they have sort of a tamer route to the top, and they have a harder route to the top. I took the tamer, and Ryan took the harder, and the harder is shorter but steeper. And I've read that it's really rated about a moderate hike. I found it slightly difficult. My husband didn't find it very difficult at all. So be that as it may, it had absolutely stunning views of the whole Marquette area, and highly recommend taking that short hike. So then we were off to Copper Harbor the next morning. If you've never driven to Copper Harbor before, my main tip is to just not be in a hurry. Most of the trip, once you get north of Houghton Hancock, it's a 2-lane road, and there is literally nowhere to pass. So you just have to strap in and just get comfortable. And if the person in front of you is going 30 miles per hour, then that's how fast you're going to go. And so you just have to relax and enjoy the view. It's absolutely a beautiful drive, but you cannot hurry because there's no way to get around. It's very twisty, turny, windy, and so yeah, you just have to know that you have to be patient. To the top. We're still not to the top.
Not yet.
So we're headed up the Brockway Mountain Drive. And how many miles would you say this is?
I think he said 4.
4 miles up. It's a very rough road. There's mountain bikers around. I would not want to bike this road. The road is rough and very steep, but the views are spectacular. Definitely worth a trip, and probably the only place in Copper Harbor that you can get cell service.
Yeah.
Well, we'll see. That's yet to be determined. I feel like you're at the top of the world.
Yeah, we're getting there.
We made it to the top. Whoa, I forgot about this.
Oh, here we are. 726 feet.
Wow. Woo. So this is the view from Brockway Mountain. It's just incredible up here. The top of the world, Lake Superior on the right. So I have a disclaimer that the rocks that you see me picking in this video, we ended up not keeping because we found out that you're supposed to leave the rocks behind here, and I didn't know that until we got out and read the sign. So we didn't collect any rocks, and we just collected a lot of pictures. Ryan and I hiked this morning to the tip of a little spit of land here, and this is Hiker's Point, and we thought we'd rock hunt this morning, but this tip, just here's a tip about the tip, it's not really the best place to rock hunt. On the Lake Superior side, down that way, there's more beaches that are really rocky, but we wanted to get up to the tip. We thought we would fly the drone, but turns out there's really nowhere to fly it up here, so we're gonna hit one of the beaches. When you hike in here, the trail is there's a lot of tree roots and a lot of rocks. It's not a hard trek in, but it's also not for, it's not handicap accessible or anything like that. So we'll go hit the little next beach down. This is kind of what we were looking for. There's all kinds of rocky beaches all the way up this little peninsula. So this is probably the farthest beach to hike out to, but you don't need to hike out this far because there's some actually better beaches with rocks a little bit farther down. I mean, it's a beautiful hike. It will be really nice and calm here to run the drone. I mean, it's absolutely beautiful out here. There's so many rocks. So Ryan was getting ready to fly our drone and then realized that somebody else is flying a drone up above us. So we don't want to crash with their drone. So we'll wait a minute. If you can see. Hi. All these inclusions, and I'll show you a lot more when the lighting gets a little better. We've been wondering if we could find any glass here. Just found a piece, a little teeny piece. Look at these stones, they're so cool. A quick history about the stones in this area. In an article put out by Michigan Tech written by Cindy Perkins, the Keewanau Peninsula was once covered with ice 2 miles thick, and it was the site of the Earth's largest ancient lava outpourings. The peninsula's split personality is readily apparent to either side of the Keewanau Fault, an upheaval that exposed the copper so crucial to European settlement of the region, birthed distinct and dramatic landscape features. Northwest of the rift lie great lava reefs juxtaposed against glacial deposits of boulders and moraines. To the southeast, an expanse of layered rocks with the magnificent exposures of rich red and rust and cream variegated sandstone. So there's lots of different kinds of stones up here, sandstone for sure. There is basalt, rhyolite, and one of the things that makes the stones so red up here is hematite or hematite, I'm not sure how to say that, occurring as oxidized iron. And some of the green that you see inside of these little pockets in the stones is actually, the green is actually chlorite, which appears green on these most interesting stones. So we are going down this seasonal road. There's two ways you can go. You can go to the 7.5 mile or the almost 2 mile. And we were told that it's pretty rough, and we're gonna go as far as we're comfortable with. And we're gonna see, this is at the tip of Copper Harbor. And yeah, okay. So we did turn around. I had the camera off. How far did you think we went?
Only about 3 miles.
Oh, yeah, it took us a long time, and it is really rough. I wouldn't recommend it for anything less than a Subaru. It gets, at the beginning, it's pretty good. There's just a few potholes and gravel. And then it gets a lot more hilly and a lot more potholes.
Yeah, a lot of it's probably just due to the logging they do out here. There's a lot of logging, and so those big logging trucks just chew up the road.
Yeah, so my action camera kind of smooths things out a little bit, but I'm sure that you can tell by the camera that it's pretty bumpy, and I was getting a little bit of a stomach ache, so we decided that we're going to turn around, and there's a shorter route that maybe we'll go down, or maybe we'll just go to the state park and have some lunch. I don't know. You know, maybe we need that kind of, maybe we need a little truck like that. I don't know. Subaru's doing great. We have a sport mode, some sort of a sport mode, and it's kind of doing all the work by itself when we go down the hills. I don't even think, Ryan said he doesn't even have to put his foot on the brake, right?
Yeah, it just kind of takes over.
So, in case you're up in Copper Harbor and you want to do this drive, you've been warned. Look at this crystal clear water. It's just incredible. I think this audio is going to be too windy, but we just found the most beautiful spot here. Had a nice picnic with some wine, and now heading in for more rocks. Look at this. Treasure finders, check out this sand here in Copper Harbor. It's the coolest color. Ryan and I thought it looked like cinnamon and sugar toast from when we were kids. I actually took a little bag home. It's great. After our stay in Copper Harbor, we drove down the coast closer to Calumet, Houghton, Hancock area. We wanted to check out that area. We hadn't spent any time there before, and we found a couple of really cool beaches, and this was the spot of our first Yooperlite sightings. We just pulled into McLean State Park in Calumet. And we're going to check out the rocks here. Supposedly a sandy and rocky beach. Looks like a beautiful park here on Lake Superior. Tonight we're going to come back and do a little more Yooperlite hunting. We found our first Yooperlites yesterday. When you first enter the beach area here at McLean State Park, there's a lot of sand and very small pebbles. We're going to look beyond this pier here. It looks like there's quite a bit more rocks, and look at the driftwood here. All these trees. My goal today is to find an agate, a Lake Superior agate. See if that will happen. Certainly have a lot of stuff that washes up here. You know, I like to pick through this stuff. Ooh.
She's got some neat,
really cool markings.
Mm-hmm.
See if I can figure out what it is. Thank you. Finishing up at the beach here at McLean State Park, and I would say that I give McLean State Park an A+ for variety of stones. We found the most variety here. A lot of the stones up in the UP are this copper colored stone, but there isn't as much variety. But at McLean State Park, because they're getting down closer to I guess Minnesota, Wisconsin, the rocks are varied here and really beautiful stones and really good variety. So I would say that McLean State Park is definitely worth the stop. We're at the Prospector's Paradise, a rock Walmart. Prospector's paradise is in a little town called Alloway. It's not quite halfway between Houghton and Copper Harbor. You pass it on the way to Copper Harbor if you're headed up there. We stopped in because, of course, I love to stop in rock shops, and this place is amazing. It looks very silly from the outside, and you're not quite sure what to expect. They have some really amazing specimens inside, not just from the area, but from all over the place. And it's kind of a mini museum as well of the area. So many things to look at and see. You can spend a really long time in there. The people are really friendly and really knowledgeable. And if you like rocks or gems or fossils, any of the above, even shells they have, definitely stop there. It's worth it. They even have shells here. Not a lot, but a few. So we stopped by the Prospector's Paradise today, and the guy working there, his grandparents own it, and he said that any of these pebbly beaches, we're in Eagle River right now, but any of the pebbly beaches from here all the way up to Copper Harbor and then back down to like Houghton, Hancock, could possibly have Yooperlites. They have a lot in the store, and so we're just kind of waiting until sunset. Ryan has the flashlight, the UV flashlight, and I mean, there's so many stones. So many stones. If you're wondering what in the heck is a Yooperlite, in short, it is a special kind of fluorescent rock that you find predominantly along the shores of Lake Superior that, as the trademark suggests, can glow when subjected to specific lighting conditions. So basically, you throw a black light on them and they glow. They're really cool. Okay, so the sun is down and we have our Yooperlite. So I have a Convoy C8, which was what was recommended to me from the Yooperlite website, not just to me, but to everyone. And this is a really powerful UV light, the PetoskeyStone.com. So it just needs to get just a little bit darker before we can actually start shining on these stones here. It's just starting to show up a little bit. It really doesn't show at all when it's light outside, so wish us luck.
I'll get out.
Did you find one?
I found one. You ready?
Let's see. Oh my god!
There it is.
You found one! Okay, put it back down on the lake so we can see it.
That's what it looks like.
That's so cool! Woo!
Alright.
My turn. This is the last stop on our treasure hunting adventure. We are at Calumet Waterworks Park at sunset. We're going to do some more Yooperlite hunting. Lake Superior has been so calm. We haven't had hardly any waves at all this whole week. It's been beautiful.
Yep. It's videotaping. Yep.
You found a little baby Yooper.
Oh, that's a good one, yeah. There you go.
It's not orange. It's a little baby one, but it counts. Some of these rocks are foolers, like that one right there.
Yeah, it's like boop.
It pops. The whole thing pops, but it's not what the Yooperlite does.
There's an ember there.
An ember. The Yooperlite ember. Hey, we have a sighting. Let's see.
Hey. It's another little one, but
Little one.
nonetheless.
Good one.
Nice little find, little nugget.
Hey, we just saw these folks out here. Look at their Yooperlites. Good job. Oh, that's a beauty. That's a beauty. They're both. Those are gorgeous. Good job. There's a little teeny one in the water just up there. We don't have boots on, so it's all yours.
What's your YouTube?
So we just finished up. This time we found a lot of little nuggets.
One here.
But also some really fun ones that kind of glowed blue. So those kind of glow blue, and that one has some blue and orange. But you can definitely, after you do it for a little bit, you can definitely tell the actual Yooperlites. I had to pause this video right here to show you something crazy. As I was editing this video, I noticed on the right-hand side of my bucket there is some glowing, and it looks like there is a Yooperlite on the ground below my bucket. And as we bring the light to the side of the bucket, it shows gleaming underneath my bucket. And we were so busy filming and talking that we didn't see that stone right there on the ground. Oh my gosh.
They're on fire.
Yeah, and that was really fun to see. Yeah, to see that couple. They're out in the water with their boots on. You know, I have my boots. I could be out in the water, but I'm not. So this was fun. We're wrapping up this trip, and I'll show you my wrap up of everything I found. We're going to put all these under the lights when we get home just to see what's going on. But highly recommend. It's fun. It's more fun than it looks. If I can get this guy out looking for rocks.
Anything can happen.
Anything can happen. Good night. Hey, treasure finders. Here is a wrap up of the first part of our trip to the UP. I have right next to me here this great little Lake Superior Rocks and Minerals book. I just wanted to remind everyone that I am not a geologist, and my channel is just about having fun, rock picking, beach glass picking, shelling, etc. So if I get something wrong when I'm talking about these, I apologize. You're more than welcome to correct me, but please be kind. I made a mistake in one of my videos recently. I misspoke. I said the words biggest, but what I meant was oldest. And one of my fans just shredded me about making that mistake. And, you know, that's not what my channel's about. It's just about having fun. She literally said, "What is wrong with you?" So anyway, back to the rocks. I'm not a geologist, but we're just going to have some fun. So these rocks are mostly from Copper Harbor. As you saw in the video, we started out at a beach that's right in Copper Harbor, and come to find out, once we were done, we were flying the drone and having fun. You're not allowed to take rocks from that beach. So we put those rocks back, and we still ended up with a ton of rocks from Copper Harbor. They're all really the same. It doesn't matter what beach you go to. So there's a lot of beaches where you can take them. And I've been trying to figure out what these rocks are. And in my book here, in my Lake Superior book, I believe that they are rhyolite, and some of them, probably not all of them. But I have another bin that I'm going to show you after this of many stones that look like this. Now, the stones that I have in this bin here also have these really cool sort of areas that have deposits in them. And some of the deposits, okay, here's the word. I'm going to show it to you on screen because I can't say that word. A-M-Y-G-D-A, loidal. Something deloidal rhyolite. So I'm not even going to attempt that word. If you want to tell me how to pronounce it, go right ahead. I just had to find the page. There's also something called chlorite, which, if you can see in this picture, there's little green deposits, and I love those. And a lot of these that I found have that sort of green character to them. And again, these probably have all kinds of different types of deposits in them, but these types of rocks are all over in the UP, and oh, I just love them. I'm showing them to you in water right now because they just look so pretty. But these are plentiful, and I think I'm going to make a nice jar of my UP stones. I used to have a bunch more, but because my husband and I travel a lot, we downsized, and I left a lot of my UP stones in one of my gardens. Okay, so here is the second batch of stones I wanted to show you. If you make your way down the peninsula from Copper Harbor towards Houghton, Hancock, there are definitely some different types of rocks other than just those copper colored rocks, and lots of different types of granite, which I always love. I don't pick up a ton of granite, but sometimes if the colors are stunning, I'll pick those up. Some cool sort of striped rocks. I don't know, whatever I happen to see in the day. This reminded me, this is so pretty. I don't know if you can see it in this light. Hopefully you could see it in the video, but it reminds me of the Leland blue slag. Sometimes I just get stones because I love the shape. This is like a really nice egg shape. It's just black. There's nothing fancy about it. I love quartz, and I found some beautiful pieces of quartz, or quartzite, if you will. Some of them have this stone sort of attached to the quartz, like this one too. How cool is that? And then just some basic quartz pieces. But I love them. Love them. Look at this. This is so cool. This has a little quartz inside. Some of these colors are just incredible. These blues. I don't know if it picks it up on the screen as well, but I did find a teeny tiny bit of glass. A little bit of glass. I don't expect to find as much glass up there. You got to really have a lot of boat traffic and things like that happening for glass to roll in, and obviously there's ships out on Lake Superior, but it's so deep, and I don't know if it can come in. I just wanted to show you what these look like in the daytime. Now, all of these stones around the outside had some glowing component to them, which I'll show you next, because I'm going to take these into the dark and I'll show you. The ones in the middle I feel like are just the true Yooperlite. My friend gave me this neat little box. It's like a little magnifying box, and I just threw one in there so you could kind of see it up close, but I don't think it really shows on screen. But basically, there's nothing special about this stone. If you were walking on the beach, you wouldn't know these from any other stone. Honestly, we tried. We tried to find them in the light, but we really did have to wait until it got dark for the glowing to happen. And again, I'll show you these in the dark and you'll know what I'm talking about, but they don't look really like anything special. We had a good time talking to a lot of different people that you saw in the video who found some huge ones. Pro tip, go out in the water and get your feet wet or wear some waders and get out in the water, because you can find really good ones out there, especially because now a lot more people are doing this, and so they're more picked over. But it's fun because a lot of these other stones do have some glowing components to them. You'd be surprised at what does light up on the beach. Leaves light up on the beach, string or weird garbage on the beach will light up as well. So anyway, I highly recommend this activity. Make sure, if you can, be with somebody. Don't necessarily wander out alone, and also you're in the dark, so make sure you know where you are. All right, I'm going to try and show you these Yooperlites. Are you ready? Here we go. You ready? Oh, there they are. This one right here was the first one that we found, this perfectly round one. And then we were kind of hooked. Each one of these stones in here has some sort of glowing component, which is why I picked them up. And isn't that gross? You can just see all of the fuzz and stuff inside the bin. These all glowed in some way or another on the beach. Whether or not they have some component of the Yooperlite, I don't know. But, oh, look at those. They are so fun to find. Even my husband, who is not really into rock picking, he found the first one right there and he was hooked. So I hope you liked this little Yooperlite journey, and I definitely recommend doing it. It's super fun. And if you like this video, give me a thumbs up and subscribe to my channel. I would really appreciate that. And I will see you on the beach somewhere.